Hi everyone. I wanted to talk a little bit today about my Dell XPS 15. This is the 9550, which as of this video is the latest model XPS 15 that Dell makes. It's a very thin and light laptop. You may have seen other reviews of it around the net. Most of them are glowing, and I don't really blame any of those reviews for that. It is a very nicely designed, beautiful machine, very sort of Apple-esque if you're into that kind of thing. Thin, almost the size of a 14-inch Ultrabook, but it's a 15-inch laptop. Very clean, metal design. Easily hold it with one hand, easily hold it on a lap. And it's quite powerful for the size that it is, and has a lot of great components in there. Unfortunately, mine has been kind of a lemon. And I just wanted to give, I guess, kind of a counterpoint to some of those glowing reviews that you might find out there, and tell you a little bit about my story, about what went wrong with my laptop and my repair process. I am actually sending my computer back today or tomorrow. I've already gotten my money back for it. It's kind of a long story how that happened, but yeah, it's not just me. If you read on the Dell forums, there are various people having some of the same issues that I've had. So let me just go through some of those with you right now. So my first hint that something was wrong was inserting an SD card, just like this. And the computer did basically nothing. Did not pop up with the little SD pop-up there informing you that it recognized the card. It did not pop up in my this PC, and as I hunted around to figure out what was going wrong, I noticed that my SSD drive stopped working around the same time. I restarted the computer, got nothing at all, no Dell logo, no nothing. Several more restarts, same problem. So I figured at that point it was about time to call Dell. I did that and set up a repair, sent the computer in. I did not get the upgraded warranty, so it was a depot repair, had to send it in, had to wait about 2 weeks to get it back. They replaced the motherboard, which was fine, but for some reason when I received the computer back, there was a series of scratches up here on the bezel. In fact, I'll go ahead and show you some of the pictures of that right now. Now, the scratches weren't horrible, but this is a $1,750 machine plus tax, and I had just bought it recently and I wanted them to put it back the way it was when I sent it to them. So I called them again, and to their credit, they agreed to set up an on-site repair for the scratches. All I wanted was a new bezel. I assumed, like other computers that I've had, that they could just remove this part, which is basically just a cover for the screen, remove that, put a new one on. As I was waiting for that, the blue screens started, which I'll show you some of those now. And that was something that would happen randomly. There was no rhyme or reason to it, and I could have none one day and then 10 the next day. And it was odd. The way they would happen is it would be kind of progressive. I would suddenly notice that something had stopped responding, some app. I would then go, maybe try to open the Windows Start menu, nothing would come up. And eventually, the computer would grind to a halt, give me a blue screen. I told them about that. As we were trying to figure that out, the repair for my screen happened. The guy came, repaired the screen. He actually replaced the entire lid assembly. So this entire piece is brand new. So basically I ended up with a new motherboard and a new screen and lid, which is almost the entire computer. On this computer, the drive is on the motherboard, the GPU, everything's attached to the motherboard. So basically all I have left from my original computer is the bottom case and this plastic and the keyboard. So at that point, all new computer pretty much, yet it was still crashing, and I had new problems with the screen and the bezel. Let me see if I can show you some of those now. So I've gone handheld so you can hopefully see this. You see that bump in the bezel there? It's actually coming up above the edge of the screen, and that is a spot where the bezel itself is actually detaching from the screen. If you can see under there, I'm not sure if you can see this on the camera, but not only is there some pretty bad light bleed in that spot, but you can actually see, if you look to the side, you can see where the backlight is actually visible, the naked backlight. I talked to Dell about this as well, and I basically demanded that they fix this. And at that point, they offered me a refurbished machine as a replacement. I initially refused their offer of the refurb because, frankly, they had caused these new problems. And, you know, it was a new machine when I got it, and I wanted a machine in exactly the same condition that I had sent it to them originally, other than not being broken. I was afraid that if they sent me a refurb, it would be the same kind of deal that somebody had sent back a machine just like this one, and that I would be getting their machine that was also broken in similar ways. So I refused initially, but it turned out that they weren't going to give me any other option, really. So, not wanting to be unreasonable, I decided to accept their offer. I told them I would accept it. At that point, they reneged on that offer. They told me they could no longer do it. I'm not sure what happened, but that, understandably, as you can imagine, probably made me a little angry. At that point, I'd been going through this saga with them for quite a while and wanted it to be over, and had soured on this machine completely, and just wanted to go back to, I don't know, something else. So I called customer care, basically demanded that they take the machine back. They refused, which I sort of expected, but I had to request that first before I could do a chargeback on my credit card. I told them I was going to do that. It should not have been any surprise to them. I wanted what I originally paid for, and I wasn't getting it. So I called American Express, started the chargeback process, got the money back only a few days later, and now I'm sending this machine back. Of course, once you have the money back, any company is going to be pretty open to taking back their merchandise. And Dell was. I was a fan of Dell. That's why I bought this machine. I had owned a Vostro 3550, I believe, which you can read about on my blog. And I loved that machine. I had that machine for several years before it was stolen out of my car, and I've since kind of even romanticized it even more in my mind. Tried to get it back any way I could. Obviously never did. The XPS 15 is quite similar to that machine in design. They both had metal lids, metal bottom, both thin, light, sleek. Both had GeForce cards in them. Supported the reference drivers from NVIDIA, which is a nice thing. And you know, I wanted to have that experience again, like I had when I owned that Vostro, but unfortunately, it just went sour. Luckily, still have my trusty old Sony Vaio. 6-pound behemoth, unapologetically plastic, but it has served me well. It has given me no problems. A little ding here in the corner, if you can see that, from dropping it, but it still works, and works fine. And I'll be using that. I'll be using that until I get a new machine. But this Dell, this is going back tonight. And, you know, feel free to take this video however you will. Obviously, you're free to watch those glowing reviews and give more weight to them if you want. This is just kind of a counterbalance, so you can see the other side, so you can see there are some lemons out there. I do encourage you to go to the Dell forums to read about some of the similar and other problems people have had with the new XPS 15s. I think it's not a very reliable machine. I don't think it's just mine. So that's about it. Just wanted to give you guys my story, and I'll talk to you later.